What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Alan Wake 2. It's official. Mr. Scratch has entered the building. Damn. And what a fashion he entered the building in the last video where it was Return 6 called Scratch. So I guess it's not terribly surprising, but just to do a quick recap, Saga made it back to the Bright Falls Sheriff Department where she needed to intercept Wake and get the clicker to him and get him out of FBC custody. That latter part there was kind of already taken care of for us, is like 99% of the FBC agents were just absolutely mutilated throughout the Sheriff's Department, as we had taken in the building, and not just your regular taken. We had a lot of special taken. The only one that was alive was Agent Estevez, and she earned some points in this last video. Definitely feeling like she's one of the good guys right now, at least. There's always, time can tell. Who knows? Maybe she will show true colors and just be trying to manipulate the dark place in Bright Falls and Cauldron Lake and all that stuff. But she certainly helped us out. She was in our earpiece too as we ventured down into the basement to restore power and get to that damn generator and that fuse box. It's always the basement. It's always the generator. It's always a fuse box in these kind of games that they send us off to. And lo and behold, Special Agent Casey was down there. And they recovered him in the woods. She tells us that, Agent Estevez tells us that when we're upstairs. But she forewarns us that not everything's quite there with Casey. It seems like he's just not himself, and we totally see that when we get down there. He absolutely wastes a taken right before we get to the room that he's in. So he definitely still has his trigger finger and his shooting eye available to him, but he just completely cowered and like hunkered down behind like a little makeshift barricade after we spoke to him. Yeah, he's definitely not there. He thinks that Saga's daughter, Logan, is dead, so he's certainly suffering the effects of Scratch in the dark place and all of that stuff. He's feeling like the residual effects of whatever touched him out there in the woods. So he did not come forward and help us after. Big surprise, right? But we get back upstairs after we restore power. And quick shout out to Remedy for this part. I feel like most devs would have made this part where it's like, you have to go down to the creepy basement in the police station to restore power. Like, I feel like most, like, in that game, that's like an hour and a half playthrough. It wasn't like long. It really was. Like, it was like appropriate for what we were in, which is like a small town sheriff's department. Like, it shouldn't take like an hour and a half to get to the bottom of the basement and restore power. Like, you're searching some like Dwemer fortress in an Elder Scrolls game where you just get to the end of the dungeon crawl and it's just like you want to just run your head through the wall at the end because it's taking forever. Appropriately paced, and then you're back upstairs and you're moving on to the next thing. They do a lot of that in this game, and I really appreciate and respect that. Nothing's too drawn out. Nothing feels like it's too much. And, you know, again, shout out to Remedy. They do a good job with that stuff. But then we get upstairs and we go to Wake's cell to talk to Wake to get him the clicker. And lo and behold, the man, the myth, the legend, Scratch, steps out from behind the curtains and reveals himself, takes over Wake's body, and absolutely eviscerates Yako, who is in the cell with Ilmo next to him. Yako is dead. He was absolutely destroyed, obliterated. And Ilmo just sat there with like his jaw on the ground. And then we got into a fight with him. Not a full-blown fight, not like a 12-round fight. But like a little 1 or 2 rounder, like a little appetizer, a little sampling, like a preseason game, if you will. Certainly that wasn't the Super Bowl with Scratch by any means. That will certainly be reserved for the playthroughs ahead. But it was terrifying. Again, we were out there and had to like start up these generator type things to bring out these like, I don't even know what you want to call them, these like insane lights that the FBC has to just completely evaporate Taken and things of the dark materials that make up the Taken. So we were able to hold Scratch off for the time being. But as I said, he will be back. That was not the full fight. It was just a little appetizer, a little awesome blossom, if you will. And that's it. That's where we left off. So we're going to continue with Saga. I would imagine we're getting, if this mission here isn't the next or the last mission, then I don't know what is. But quick thing real quick as the news came in today, sad news from Remedy Entertainment. James McCaffrey passed away. He is the voice of Alex Casey. Also, I guess, and maybe more famously, the voice of Max Payne. I never played Max Payne. But goddamn, that guy voice acts Alex Casey to like the top of a mountain in this game. Like you think of Casey and you just think of like that growl, like that scratchy growl in a lot of his dialogue, especially the ones in the most in particular the ones in the dark place whenever Wake initiates the echoes. Rest in peace to James McCaffrey. Sad news from Remedy. So we're gonna try to honor Casey in this playthrough here. We're gonna push forward. FBI, Saga Anderson, ready to take on Scratch, ready to do whatever's necessary here to bring this evil to an end. Let's go. And real quick too, before I move forward, I remembered the other thing that I wanted to talk about in the intro. And I was editing Initiation 7 the other day, and I'm watching the conversation between Wake and Mr. Door, and I have to be an idiot for not realizing it as I was playing it, but it hit me. Oh. Oh, here, let's pause this real quick before Ilmo talks too much. We want to go over there and talk to him. Not that we feel bad. How is that man still not in cuffs? He still is a Cult of the Tree member and like the head, like the president of the Boy Scout club there. And we got him like walking around the police station. No big deal. Put that man back in the cell. I don't care if he lost his brother or not. But Door and Wake in Initiation 7, and again, if you watch it, I appreciate it. It's not the most entertaining video. I acknowledge that. But I think the most important part is that beginning conversation between Wake and Door, where the camera wasn't rolling, the lights weren't on. This was a real talk between Wake and Mr. Door, right? No like funny moments or trying to get the audience to clap. This was like two dudes having a real chat, and Mr. Door is definitely. It feels like he's been there a lot longer than Wake has. So the point that I'm trying to make is, and I'll just come out and say it and then explain it real quick before we move on. I think Mr. Door is Saga's dad. And here's why. He mentions to Wake, and this isn't verbatim, but in that dialogue there, he mentions to Wake that it's like he's trying to get out, and you're messing with something along the lines with you're messing with people in my life too, and you took a peek inside or something like that, and then it hit me. It's like, well, he's probably talking about Saga, which would be his daughter, and Logan, which would be his granddaughter. And then you think about Sergeant Breaker's whiteboard, and it mentions how Mr. Door, there was a door that like mysteriously disappeared around Cauldron Lake in the late 80s, right? And doesn't Saga and her like conversations with Tor, there's something when she's profiling and mentioned about Saga's dad and how he didn't get along with Tor or something along those lines, and he disappeared or he ran away or something along those lines. He left their life. Okay, I guess is the best way I can put it. He left their life. It kind of all makes sense that Mr. Door is Saga's dad, and he left their life, but maybe not willingly. He got pulled into the dark place when he disappeared around Cauldron Lake. And again, because he keeps saying to Wake, like, you affected my life, or you impacted people in my life, or something like that. By like writing this story as well. He has to be talking about Saga and Logan, right? So that's my thought right now. That's my prediction. I guess we'll find out. I could be way off, and I probably should have recognized this earlier. I guess the writing was kind of on the wall whenever you're looking at Breaker's board, and it's like, oh, Mr. Door was actually in Cauldron Lake, and he disappeared. And, oh, Saga's dad disappeared at some point, too. Like, I don't know. Like, duh, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's too obvious. Maybe it's a red herring, but I just wanted to point that out. Let's go. All right, man. What do you got to say? I'm sorry about Yako. Seriously? I'm not.
I'm sorry about your brother, Ilmo.
Yako was all heart. He always went along with my ideas, no matter how stupid they were. Always happy to help. I got carried away. I never think things through. It's my fault.
I realize it's a bad time. But I need you to tell me everything about the Cult of the Tree.
The cult is my craziest idea that ever worked. Look, what kind of a cult calls themselves a cult? Exactly. We protect Water in Bright Falls. We're the good guys. A secret neighborhood watch. Well, that was the idea anyways. Look, we've always known about the horror inside the lake. When any Taken come out, we kill them.
You don't turn people into Taken. You kill the ones who already have.
What? Seriously? Huh. So that's why we see Nightingale on their table at the beginning. But he wasn't taken yet. Or maybe they thought he was.
How long has the cult been around for?
Certain folks around here have always known about Cauldron Lake. Before us, it was the Torchbearers. And when I inherited the mission, I wanted to call it a cult. It was genius. Just a name did half the work. Made people too scared to go into the woods at night. Business 101. Fear is a great motivator.
No, I don't know. I guess it makes me feel a little bit differently. I don't know if I fully believe him yet, but I'm still like trying to process this. This is so they actually were like a neighborhood watch then.
You were
Okay.
trying to kill Alan Wake. Why?
Nothing good has ever come out of Cauldron Lake. The nightmare that hit Bright Falls in 2010 was all because of his writing. And ever since then, pages of his stories are floating up from the lake, and monsters keep popping out. It's all him, Wake. And if we don't stop him, no one will.
Wake's evil doppelganger Scratch is the threat we're facing, not Wake. And I will stop him.
I've never heard of anyone called Scratch.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
That's something to process. Damn. Okay. Now, makes me feel a little bit differently about him then. All right, are we in the mine place? Yeah, we want to go here.
Figured all this out already. So this goes here, and that goes there.
Oh, okay. Less work for me. Wake attacked. Yes, he did. Where is Wake then? That's a great question. Wake has been contacting me from the dark place. Oh.
That's it.
So that's okay. I guess, I mean, I kind of was wondering that, but I just thought that it was, Wake was in the dark place. He was also in the present in Bright Falls too, but no, that was Scratch all along. Maybe I don't know, I guess I'm an idiot.
I assumed Wake escaped the dark place. Is it possible he's still there?
The Big Apple in an ocean of darkness. Gone diving. Note from my editor. You're using the wrong tense. Trapped in a loop. My friends will meet him when I'm gone.
Wake is still trapped in the dark place. Maybe he always was. Scratch is Wake's double. He tricked us. He almost got the clicker from me. The whole plan has gone out the window. How could we get this so wrong?
Textbook boondoggle.
You said it, Anderson. It's a shit show. So what's the plan?
The FBC usually handles stuff like this, right? Any thoughts?
Hold up. You brought a paranatural object in here without telling me and then almost handed it over to a hostile entity?
Okay, we
I didn't
didn't
know
though.
if I could trust you. That was a mistake. So was believing Scratch. But it's not too late. I just need to understand more.
You got that right. Let's start acting like we're on the same side, yeah?
Okay, well, she didn't know that before. I'm with Saga on that. Are you kidding me? Like, how am I supposed to trust you? And besides, like, she didn't give it to him. And she defeated him. And saved your ass because your whole team got decimated. Let's give Saga some kudos, please.
The horror story's changing reality. It made it so my daughter died here, even though she's supposed to be back home in Virginia. Do you know if that's...
AWEs are localized distortions of reality. The area outside town might not be affected. Sometimes they expand, sometimes they fizzle out. If we can make sure it's the latter, your kid might be fine.
The whole thing is a nightmare. I can't let my family be torn apart.
Having family isn't easy in this line of work. The late nights, travel, alternate realities threatening their existence. My ex-wife couldn't take it.
Karen, you're better off without her.
Casey.
I know I am.
So tell me what I'm missing. The FBC must know something.
Good news, we have Bureau intel on all of this. Bad news, it's highly classified. Good news, consider yourself deputized into the Federal Bureau of Control. Here's a key to the cell where we keep the files. Happy reading.
Okay.
Really? Just like that? Are you gonna help?
Go
Okay.
team.
Yeah, exactly. Like what? Like you're not? Are you gonna help, or now you're just gonna like chill here?
Scratch pretended to be awake to trick us.
He almost won me over. I should have trusted my gut. Had a bad feeling about him when we found him at the lake. When that insane monster cloud came at me in the woods, I saw a face inside it. Wakes. I think he was always a monster. Always Scratch.
You really don't remember Logan living in Virginia with me and David?
I remember you and David having problems. You needed a break. You and Logan moved to Watery and then Logan, well, that awful thing happened. After you came back to work, I thought you'd be the perfect partner for this case, if you were willing to return to the area.
Okay. That's enough. The story is changing your memories. What you're remembering is fiction. Logan is alive. I'm not divorced. We never moved here. I remember the truth.
Yeah, who the hell would move here?
Wake or Scratch or whoever that was said the story could be used to attack us. We all need to question what's real. With that said, how do we know the story isn't giving you false hope?
I can't convince them. I just need to change the story.
Wonder if Casey's like gonna actually come with us on this final run.
This is the kind of case my ex hated. The ones that might kill me.
That's funny. The cases that might kill me were my ex's favorite.
Alright, we already read that.
The lake is a gateway to the dark place. What the hell is a para-utilitarian?
Based on reports, the item is a light switch from a lamp cord, with part of the severed cord still attached. Eyewitnesses' accounts suggest that the item possesses the ability to alter reality, the changes being based on redacted. When used by a capable para-utilitarian, parsing this item's effect from that of the Cauldron Lake threshold responsible of recurring AWEs in the area is difficult because the only reported uses of the item have occurred near this threshold. Without more data, we cannot confirm if the item intensifies the effect of the threshold or vice versa, if there is no connection whatsoever. Recorded material from Dr. Hartman after becoming a redacted have revealed that Alan Wake eliminated Barbara Jagger, likely a physical manifestation of a redacted, by inserting the light switch into its chest and flicking the switch. The item is confirmed to have been used in 2010 to turn fictional writing into reality. See file AWE35. However, it is unclear what the restrictions and limitations of this effect are. Conclusion: the light switch is a possible OOP, but the team cannot conclusively classify the item based on secondhand accounts. Proper examination and testing is required in order to determine classification and precise effect of the item. Oh, urgent. We got a situation here. At approximately 1900 hours on the 13th of September 2023, readings from a remote surveillance unit monitoring Cauldron Lake, a known threshold to what researchers theorize is the origin dimension of A040. Shit. The Shadow Pass acceptable limits. Attempts to contact FBC Research Facility WA03 codenamed the Lake House were unsuccessful. On-site event verification is not possible. Response: Procedures are initiated with immediate effect. Lead agent Estevez will mobilize investigation unit Beta from the remote operations site at Redacted. All available shadow-specific equipment had been approved or for use in the field. The objective is to confirm an active event. If an active AWE is occurring, the dispatch team will identify its nature and severity, limit exposure, and attempt to contain or neutralize the source. If no event is active, check monitoring equipment, perform a limited profile sweep of the area, and check status of the lake house and its staff. Additional info, relevant operatives in the area include the Cult of the Tree, Redacted, and Alan Wake, currently missing. Mr. Wake, you've been taken in FBC custody and will receive an in-depth interrogation at a later date, but for now I need to ask if there's anything you can tell us regarding the incident at the hotel. Anything we may need to know. There's a force here you don't understand, a presence that's after me. It wants to consume me, consume everything. Estevez, yes, you mentioned this. Dark presence before. Why does it want you? Wake, it feeds on artists, on the art they create. It wants me because of my writing, but it can be any form of art, any artistic expression, music, painting, film, photography. It can feed on any of it, all of it. You have to believe me. Estevez, we are well aware of this entity. Mr. Wake, we've been tracking the situation here for a long time now. You yourself have been on our radar for over a decade. I'm sure those nuts in the research department are just going to love checking you out. Hey, make a note to redact that before submission. Let's get back on track. You mentioned a light switch earlier. Where is it now? Wake, I don't know, but I need it. I can't end this without it. Will you help me get it? Estevez, Mr. Wake, you're in custody pending charges for breaching of numerous federal violation codes. We're not going to give you a suspected paranatural object. Wake, you're not fucking listening to me. I can just hear Wake saying that. Estevez, we are listening just fine. Now now do you have any accomplices? Wake, expletive, you, fuck you, we can probably surmise. Let me the fuck out of here. It's coming for me. We're all in danger. Interview is terminated due to subject being uncooperative. Okay.
Wake isn't the first person the dark presence disguised itself as.
The Shadow. Through extensive interviews with witnesses of AEW 35 additional details regarding the Shadow have been discovered. Redacted and Redacted both present during the AWE. Reported seeing a woman named Barbara Jagger in Bright Falls at the time. Jagger is a former actress and Bright Falls resident who emigrated with the filmmaker Thomas Zane from Finland and was reported to have drowned in Cauldron Lake during a Redacted AWE in 1970. Research staff have concluded that Jagger's appearance is likely a case of the Shadow manifesting in human form. Research is ongoing as to the nature of the connection between the Shadow and the psychophysical signatures available for it to mimic. Current hypotheses are the Shadow can only manifest as artists or individuals tangentially involved in the creation of art who have operated within a certain physical range of Cauldron Lake. B, the Shadow can manifest as any individual contained within Cauldron Lake. Research is actively ongoing. Gotcha.
Scratch was pretending to be Wake, manipulating me. What does he want from me? No, I'm in control here. It's my mind place. He's powerful. Too powerful. Just his presence here makes me feel sick. Like a wave of terror through my head. I feel his single-minded drive to get the clicker. I can tell something is wrong. What's happening to Casey?
I'm a goner. Swell. A shadow crawling under my skin. In my head. Call my ex. Tell her I'm sorry. Terminal case, Casey.
Something is wrong with him. He's hurt worse than he says. He's scared. Ilmo said the cult kills Taken. Is he telling the truth?
Surplus deer masks by in bulk.
Yeah, I still don't know
Loader
about that.
Taken on the shore. Call the gang, Yapko. We are going hunting. Cult of the Tree. Keeping the town safe since 2013.
Ilmo is telling the truth about the cult.
Huh. All right,
They
then.
really were fighting the Taken.
My condolences, Ilmo.
We're on the same side.
Yeah, my condolences to Ilmo, and also apologies for my disrespect towards his grieving of Yako. Two heroes in disguise there.
If the cult is killing Taken, then why did Nightingale turn into one?
Private party. Invitation only. Wrong time, wrong place. Time to go, Yako. A job half done isn't done at all.
Nightingale became a Taken because the Bookers interrupted their ritual.
Once again, the Booker's brought up. If we don't see them again, and again, there's nothing hanging over their profile jacket. Yeah, it sucks. I was hoping that they were going to be in it more. But story's not done yet. Again, if they were smart, they just got the hell out of this place. And we're not coming back to Bright Falls.
The clicker amplifies any changes to reality suggested by a piece of art. Makes them permanent. That's it. Wake is trapped in the dark place. He's been reaching out, communicating with me in the overlaps. I need to know what information I can still trust. Wake told me the clicker would fix this. But Wake was actually Scratch. How can I trust anything he said?
The artist must conclude his work. He rides a storm on your piece. Wake up and smell the danger. We told you already, kiddo. What Tom said about the light switch is true. Don't let the story confuse you. You need him to write the ending you want. The clicker can make that ending come true.
But we don't have Wake.
Yeah, that's the thing. We got to get the Wake then.
Everything we knew about the clicker was true.
We thought we had both components,
He
Wake and the
wasn't lying.
clicker, but we don't have Wake. We have the clicker, we don't have Wake now. Okay.
So the Cult of the Tree actually kills Taken. They were on our side, even if their methods are misguided and criminal.
It looked right from where we were standing. Nothing's what it seems in this case. Too many stories contradicting each other. Too many.
How did Casey get in the
versions
suit?
of the truth.
Or is that what he had on? Never mind. He had that on. I'm just thinking of the jacket.
We have a lot of catching up to do after this thing is all over. Everything is different now. My family, me, the whole fucking world.
I'll buy the coffee, Anderson. Partners to the end. This case is one for the books.
I see what you did there.
Well said.
Scratch told me the clicker can be used to change the story. Does that match your understanding of this thing?
Yeah, the light switch is a paranatural item, maybe even an object of power. We have verified reports that Alan Wake was in possession of it during the AWE here back in 2010. It definitely has power. We know that much.
I can come up with a plan. I always do. The clicker can fix this. But I can't use it without Wake. Tor knows about this stuff. Maybe he can help. Wake is still in the dark place. How do I get him out?
We live and breathe rock and roll. From the silence of screams, from the fever of dreams. The clicker can amp up other works of art, not just Tom's writing. Anything created with passion. The dark power of the lake will make it creep into reality. But if the holder of the clicker believes in the art, they can make it all come true in the flick of a switch.
I can use the clicker without Wake. Only Wake's writing can change the horror story. But I can use the clicker to change something else. Like getting Wake out of the dark place. I will use the clicker to change reality and bring Wake back at Cauldron Lake. I'll need the right work of art, but that won't be a problem. I've got it now. I just need to tell the others what to do and fix everything. For good. So we need Wake to fix the story, right? That hasn't changed. So here's what I have. Wake's still trapped in the dark place, under the lake. I think we can use the clicker to get him out. But first, we need a work of art. Something other than his story. And that'll get him here.
I'm not filling out the paperwork for this one. I don't know where to start. But I'm sold.
Okay. Look, this feels like something that once we get the ball rolling, there's no turning back. You sure you have it all figured out?
Oh, here we go. The point of no return prompt. You know, shit's real whenever you get that in a video game. This is the beginning of the end game. To travel to Cauldron Lake, you need to save your game first. Exploring and traveling to other areas will be limited if you choose to continue. Wow. Alright, not yet.
Not just yet. Give me a moment.
Okay, Anderson. You let me know when you're ready.
Alright, well, we're going to end this one here. We're at 40 minutes here of this recording. I know not a lot happened action-wise. Pretty much this was all investigative work, right? Not all investigations are out in the field, right? Sometimes they're behind the scenes inside an office, poring over papers and making deductions and going to Saga's mind place, which is all cool too, because we really get to put the story together and things start to make sense too. It was nice talking to Ilmo and getting some clarity there. Got a little bit more info on Casey, got some more info on Estevez. So, like I said, not an action-packed video here, but very much a necessary one. And I think I would rather start this next video completely fresh right out the gate, since we're going towards the end game here at Cauldron Lake. So we'll go ahead and end this video here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Wow, heart's racing already thinking about what's going to happen when we get to Cauldron Lake. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And we will see you at Cauldron Lake. Thanks for watching.